very special guest with us today. Some may know him from Southern California punk act Damage. Others, depending how much of a badass you are and you want to admit it, may know him from elsewhere. But actually, she's like quite the metalhead from what I hear, right?
Oh yeah, dude, fucking legend, man. She loves all music. It's fucking.
That's what I heard. I heard like Maiden, Saxon, Priest, obviously.
Yeah, well, fucking. We're talking about Lady Gaga, by the way.
I had that like ready to go. I'm glad you said it.
Sorry, I jumped the gun.
No.
Yeah, well, she's a musician first, so she knows everything about all types of music, and she loves it all, dude. She'll be wearing fucking punk rock and metal t-shirts, just like on stage sometimes. It's like she's awesome.
That's what I heard. I mean, in my book, anybody that gets respect from Rob Halford, it's cool with me.
Yeah, dude, totally, man. I love it.
Tosh, I gotta ask you. Oh yes, and he announced it. He's also Lady Gaga's drummer. We'll be playing in D.C. tomorrow night, I think.
Yep, day after tomorrow. Yeah.
Day after tomorrow.
Yeah, we got 2 nights out here. I don't know the name of the venue, but
I think Capitol Center.
That sounds right. Yep.
Sure. Yeah. Whenever you hit me up, I remember you told me, you said, if I'm remembering correctly, you said, yeah, I'm coming through the area from the West Coast, and I didn't know who you were with first, but you told me the venue. You said DC. I think you said Capitol Center, and I said, wait a minute, what's going on here?
Yeah.
And then we figured out.
Well, dude, it's fucking rad. I've been watching the podcast and all the clips and interviews and stuff for a while, and I first saw you randomly scrolling on TikTok, and I can't remember who it was. But I was someone I was like, wait, I know these guys, and then I saw you, and I was like, this is fucking awesome, and I watched the page, started following, and I've been a fan. So
thank you so
much. Really cool to be here, man. It's awesome.
Thank you so much. It's such an honor to have you. Oh, Tosh Peterson, by the way.
Yeah, I don't know. Where am I looking? Right up there.
Wherever you like. Wherever you like. Tosh, I gotta ask, what does it feel like to play in front of 60,000 people? What does that feel like?
Oh man, it's like it's an adrenaline rush, dude. I get up there, it's like I could be having like the most like down, tired day. I could be sick, dude. I've had stomach flus before, and then it's like, all right, lights go out, bam, I'm on. Let's fucking rock, dude. We're ready to go. I love it. It's the coolest feeling in the world. It's weird though. It feels like it's like you clock into work almost, like your brain just switches on and you're just like, all right, no matter how you feel, you're ready to go, because it's like, there's a bunch of people out there that paid all their hard-earned money to see the show. And whether they see you for 1 second or they're watching you the whole show, because there's a lot going on, and especially a big production like this where there's so many people on there. And in any band, though, there's a lot going on. And no matter who they're looking at, I'm just like, I'm going to make sure whenever they look at me, they're like, cool, he's working hard, like.
Well, so she obviously can't afford to not have musicians that aren't on the up and up, right? So I got to believe that you're pretty confident in your playing ability when you're up there, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's why there's no nerves really, is because like I'm playing like songs that for now we've been playing this set for the last over a year almost, and I know there's going to be no mistakes playing wise because I'm up there. I'm so confident in the music. The only worries I ever have are is something going to go wrong, like is something gonna a stage prop gonna malfunction, or like is a piece of gear gonna break. But everything I use is really really sturdy, and we haven't had really any bad issues. My poor drum tech Fion has to I break a lot of stuff. But that's just not even because the stuff breaks, it's because I'm just a maniac and pushing shit over while I'm doing it.
So okay, so if you're that like steadfast up there as you just described it, what's going on in your head while you're in front of all those people, while you're playing all these songs, massive hits known all throughout the world? Like, what are you thinking about on a nightly basis?
It's so funny you asked that, because I was thinking this the other day. Because I literally had this conversation because my guitarist was talking about how he's like, oh man, I got to make sure my daughter's good, and like all this stuff. She was on tour with a killer metal band called Freak, and she's like, they were out with Left to Suffer on the tour they just did, which was sick.
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
They were opening up for them. But he's like, I think they got in a little fender bender, nothing crazy, but a little car accident, and he was like freaking out. He's like, I was thinking about it the whole show. And I'm like, what do I think about for the show? And I'm like, my brain's just on. Like, I'm just like playing the shows. If you look at me, I'm like singing along, like fucking having a great time. Like, it's so much fun up there. It's like, I feel like my brain is just so, I'm not necessarily thinking about the parts. I'm more just thinking about like, wow, this is fucking crazy, and I'm just like, I'm so excited. I look and I'm blowing kisses to my drum tech on the right, and like, dude, it's so funny, man. We're like, I'm just up there having fun. It's a blast. I get to do it no matter what gig I'm playing, whoever I'm playing with. It's like I just make it as fun as possible.
Do you happen to remember the very first time maybe you were sound checking? You're in, I don't know, an arena in a stadium, the very first beat, and that you might have heard over the PA, and it was just you.
You know what? I had played a lot live before, and I played in some venues and had bands and stuff, and I did a lot of musical theater, played in church, all this stuff growing up. But I started touring when I was 16, and I played for some big artists. But I do remember sound checking. I mean, like I said, at this point, was touring for about 4 years when I turned 20, and I remember sound checking with Machine Gun Kelly, and we played. I know. I wish I could say sound check, but I remember that night. We opened with a song. It's called Title Track, and him screaming like "Hello Jacksonville," and I was like, my heart just was like, oh my God, we're doing this. Like that was a pretty crazy one, and that lives in my head every time I've been to Jacksonville since. I'm like, yeah, we're going to Jacksonville, and I hear "Hello Jacksonville." It just it gets me going, dude. Yeah, it's crazy, and it's like. Yeah, that night was pretty ridiculous. And sound check wise, man, I wish I could remember, but I remember specifically because he yells that, and then I do like this crazy drum fill, and then the song starts, and that was pretty historic for me,
It must be something about like introductions when bands come on stage, especially big bands. There's always something so powerful about it. I was at Soulfly the other night in Richmond, and I hadn't seen them. Yeah, it was a fantastic show. I hadn't seen them in a while, and Max came out on stage at the beginning, and his introduction was, "In the name of God Most High, Soulfly."
Yeah, dude.
And everybody went nuts.
Dude, that's totally, I mean, every night when, like, at the top of the show, she'll, there's like a little intro and stuff, and like Gaga will scream wherever we are, like, "Put your fucking hands up," and the name of the city, and that's just like, I get the chills almost, I'm like, let's go, dude. I'm a sucker for intros, man. I remember seeing Kiss and like that shit, like hearing, the "You wanted the best, you got the best, greatest fucking band in the world," like that, and then they went into Detroit Rock City, and like that shit gave me chills, man. That was a performance I'll never forget seeing,
Oh, me neither.
Yeah,
No.
what a great band, dude.
Oh God, no, never. I got him somewhere.
Oh yeah, there it is. Sweet, dude. Hell yeah.
Yeah. So the juxtaposition, however, going from big arenas, one night you're in Ibiza, one night you're in, Japan, Budokan, something like that. But then you're out with Damage, right?
Yeah.
So what does what are some of the major differences that, you notice between, the big houses versus maybe the clubs, the theaters, things like that?
Yeah, I mean, it's so funny. A friend of mine always told me, my buddy Max, he plays guitar for Taylor Swift, and he was working with me the first time I ever played on TV, like on a proper TV show, with this guy Bryce Vine. I was 17, I think, at the time, and he was like, "Are you nervous?" And I was like, "Not really. I mean, there's not that many people in the room, and I'm not thinking about the cameras, And he was like, "My greatest advice is, people always say play a bar like you're playing in a stadium." He's like, "Opposite, dude. Play a stadium like you're playing a bar, because it's like." You're up there. You want it to be, it's kind of a weird thought, but it's like, you want to be so comfortable that you're just like in front of these 30 people, and that 30 people might be 30,000 people, but it's like you're the same mentality as, you're just going up there to have a good time and fucking rock and roll,
Have you ever had any experiences where I don't know, maybe it was just overwhelming, or like anything negative come to mind at all?
Not negative. I've definitely I was filling in for Fall Out Boy, and made I only had a day and a half to learn their set. So there's some mistakes that I was like pretty in my head about, but they were so cool about it. They're like, "Man, like you just learned the set. It's all good." And I was like, I was pretty hard on myself. I get hard on myself with stuff for sure. If I make a mistake, it's a bummer, But nothing too crazy, nothing too like negative. The only downside of touring is missing your family and friends and stuff, and missing home. But like, I'm out here with so many people that I love, and like my best friends are out here, dude. Like, I'm out here with people that I care about so much, and I will, I'm so lucky that I get to do that. On every gig I've done, I've been very lucky to be around people that I love and care about, and so it kind of keeps you together. It keeps keeps everyone stoked. I mean, we're on the road for a long time. We're out forever, so it's nice that I'm in a position where I can bring my family out, and they come out and visit me a lot. My whole family came to Japan. They're about to come to Boston on Wednesday. We get to Boston.
TD Bank North Garden?
Yeah, TD Garden, yeah.
Been there many times.
It's a fucking great venue, man. I got to play there for the Jingle Ball tour. It's a like a pop like Christmas tour, and we went and every band plays like 4 songs. So it's the only time I played there was like 4 songs. And I was like, come on, I want to play more, And
wait, those weren't the gigs this past December, I think, with Death Angel, right?
No, that was Death Angel gigs was there was a name for it, but
yeah.
That was their San Francisco shows. They did do a whole tour, but Damage opened up for their last 2 shows in San Francisco, which was a blast. And like Rob from Death Angel is incredible. I mean, all the Death Angel guys are amazing, but I met Rob actually at a Damage show. We were opening for Fishbone in San Francisco.
Wow.
And he came out to hang, and he's like, dude, I'm a big fan of your videos and stuff. We started talking. I was like, this dude fucking rocks. And obviously I was a fan of Death Angel, but when he first came up to me, I didn't clock that he was in Death Angel. He was just this guy coming up to me, and he's like, yeah, I play guitar for a band. And I was like, oh, what band is Death Angel? I was like, you play in Death Angel? And then it clicked. I was like, oh, you're Rob from Death Angel. What the hell, dude? And yeah, man, he's cool as hell, man. What a great band and cool people, It's like I love when people say like don't meet your heroes. I love when it works out that it's like, yeah, I'm glad I met someone that I look up to,
I love meeting heroes. I mean, it hasn't happened often, but I love it,
It's fucking great, right? It's like, I really haven't had any like bad experiences with people, I've met a lot of crazy people that I'm like, wow, what a fucking amazing like thing that I get to be around these people that I like have no business being around, and I haven't had any experiences where I'm like, dude, fuck that guy, that dude sucks, If anything, I've had that with people that are nobodies,
Sure, of course.
I'm fucking dying. I'm gonna take my shirt off real quick.
Yeah, there you go. Ah, there it is. That is so cool. Look at that black flag tattoo. That is so mad right there.
Yeah. Dude,
They're heroes, huh?
I love them, man. They're great. And then my buddy Bryce is playing drums for them now.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, he just got the gig last year when they reformed kind of.
Sure, yeah.
And he's the new drummer. And it's funny because we used to play in backyards together when we were like 14, 15 years old. Yeah, it's so funny, dude. I just got to see him. He lives in Austin, Texas. We were just in Austin. We were out like fucking hanging out and stuff. He's a great dude and great drummer, man. He's badass.
So, okay, I have a question. This is kind of jumping ahead a little bit, but since we're on the topic, all right, Damage's latest single, The Worst.
Yep.
I'm wondering something very specific about it.
Okay.
When was that song actually written?
Well, Tim Stewart, our guitarist, writes most of the songs pretty much. He if anything, sometimes I'll send a drum part and he'll put it over there. But a lot of the ideas he's had. So I don't know when the idea formed, but it fully came about a year ago into fruition of like, that's when we fully like tracked it. And that's when songs are finalized is when we're in the studio. But I don't know how long he's had the actual idea written or like, lyrics and stuff. That all is kind of, because sometimes he'll be like, I've had this idea for, 10 years and just never anything came from it, but he'll kind of remember it and pick it back up and write a song. But yeah, I want to say about a year ago we recorded it.
Oh man, I had a much different hallucination about that song, if you will, and the reason being is because it's pretty standard Damage fare, but there's also really half the song, if you add it up, is like pretty thrashy.
Yeah.
So yes. So I was like, wait, I wonder if that was written after those Death Angel gigs, like you played with them and everything, and I was like, I wonder if there was like some inspiration from those shows and everything, and then they wrote,
well, dude, for sure, there's definitely some inspiration from them and stuff. And I remember when we tracked out the demo, I was at home and Tim had sent me the song, and I kind of like put that one thrashy, the really thrashy part where it's it's like sounds like a fucking thrash song, and that part. I had done the groove that ended up being on there. Then we went in the studio and I don't want to do that. I feel like it strays away from how the rest of the song goes. And so I tried a bunch of different ideas on top of it. And in the end, we landed on the initial idea, which is what it is now, we spent a long time just talking about that one little part, I was like, I just feel like it loses what it is. And then we listened back to all of them, like, that's the part. And it's like, that's the first one. We didn't have to do all that, but
It's so cool because it's very different from the rest of the song, but somehow it's so seamless from like the main verses, and then when you break into that, like you'd never, I don't know, it works,
Yeah, it's hard to make it stuff like that kind of
it is hard. I agree.
It's, to go from like, in my mind, the rest of the song is very like Clash, Rancid, like that style punk, and then it breaks into this like thrash part, and so it is hard to then, it's almost not as hard going to the one thing as it is switching back to the other feel, to go from like this thrash metal part kind of back into like this kind of tight punk groove. That's the part that like I feel like was the most work, was getting it to like, okay, now we like lock back into this groove, because the thrash part, I'm just playing fast as shit, I'm just like, let me just fucking go for it, and I'm like, okay, going from light to spazzing out's almost easier than spazzing out back to like the like locked in tight. Finding the pocket of that is definitely a more challenging thing.
That's really interesting. I never thought about that. It's not going into it. It's coming out of it.
Totally, dude. Yeah, it really is. I mean, even on a lot of things, there's parts where, like I played for Troye Sivan for a little bit. It was very pop, but then we'd have these parts where we'd get like big and explosive, and then you go back into this tight verse, and I'm like, that's where it's like gets tricky for me, is okay, because you want to lock back in and you want it to make it sound seamless, and like that's a fucking difficult thing to do,
I feel like the master, at least as far as I'm aware in the music I listen to, the master out there in terms of like arrangements and making one thing go from, let's just say, straight sludge doom into like D-beat punk or something like that is Phil Anselmo with Superjoint Ritual. Like, if you listen to those records, it's so funny because, like, at one point you're in the Black Sabbath part. Next, you move over to the Black Flag part.
Yeah.
And it's those Superjoint albums are such great demonstrations of. So, if you come across that and everything, that probably
I gotta check more of that stuff out. I'm not super familiar.
Oh, okay,
That's awesome.
no, it is cool though.
That's
cool.
Awesome, man. I'm like a big fan of like Vinnie Paul and his stuff, because he goes like I said, from like those tight grooves to this big double bass parts and stuff, and the combo is, like I said, that's what makes shit interesting, because you can do one thing for a whole song, whatever, cool, you got something, sounds great, but to go switch back and forth, because music's supposed to have like this push and pull, and like that's what I love about music, is it's like it's not supposed to just be like this the whole time. So even if there is like like backing tracks and like click tracks and metronome and stuff, like all that stuff, there still has to be that push and pull feel and vibe and stuff, and so that's what makes it a beautiful thing, because music isn't just supposed to just be like this. It's supposed to have waves, and and for me that's my favorite part about music and playing it too.
That whole push and pull thing, I had that explained to be, a friend of mine down in Nashville does work for a ton of big artists, Traft and Harvey, kind of a hidden weapon down in the Nashville area, songwriter, explained that to me once about the whole push and pull, tension and release thing, and Damage does that so well.
Thank you.
I thought about that, when I was listening to Time to Kill is a great example,
Totally.
The whole like push pull thing and everything. By the way, who came up, the lyrics for that song are brilliant. Who came up with those?
Amazing. Yeah, I love that stuff. Tim writes most of the lyrics, I would say. And then Johnny does well. It's very back and forth, A lot of the ideas start with Tim, and then kind of he sends it to us and we build off of it. I don't have much to say with lyrics because I'm a drummer who knows how to say 4 things. So, I can count to 4. That's about it.
Is that common in the drum sphere, that the drummer does his job and beyond that?
Well, in Rush, Neil Peart wrote all the lyrics.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, I remember hearing that and being like, damn, I need to step up my game, dude. I'm fucking just back here hitting shit, Yeah, that's kind of my role. I like playing drums. I just want to hang out and fucking play good music,
Your fills specifically are oh god, there's a couple instances of like I hear that and I'm like, that's insane. That sounds like some kind of a mathematics or something like that. Does the band ever have to kind of pull you back from just wilding it out a little bit?
I try to do it as tastefully as possible. And I try to. I'm very conscious about like, okay, I don't want to go too gnarly. I don't want to throw anyone off,
Yeah.
because that'll happen, man. You don't want to get too weird. We were talking about it today with like I don't remember what the gig was, but our keyboardist was telling me about something he did, and he's like, and we got lost from the drummer because he was getting too, and he's so good. The guy he was talking about, he's like, but we got lost because he did some crazy shit, and I was like, oh yeah, I try to never do that. I try to like, I'll do crazy shit, but I want to do crazy shit that will keep everyone like
Sure, yeah,
on board,
So okay, obviously it was your skill that got you through the door, at least in somebody like Lady Gaga's awareness and everything. But like, how did you? Can you explain kind of like how you landed the gig?
Well, the guys in Damage were already playing for her.
Oh, okay,
So,
sure.
yeah. So they were already playing for Lady Gaga, and Tim is kind of the band leader there. And so when she needed a drummer, he asked me if I was interested, and I was like, yeah, absolutely. It was pretty honestly like, I wish I had a better story. It was just like, are you interested? And I was like, yeah. And they're like, cool. And then a couple months later, they're like, all right, it's all good. We're gonna play a show Thursday. And I was like, it's a Sunday. And I'm like, let's do it.
Where was that show?
Fire Aid in LA. It was for the Los Angeles fires.
Sure, of
Yeah,
course.
it was a benefit show. So it was only 3 songs, but yeah, it was like that was my first thing with her. And then next we did the Super Bowl pre-show party thing, like the pre-show, not party, performance that they do before, and then it was like that. And then the next thing I did was SNL with her, which is crazy. Yeah.
Wow. What was that like?
Oh, that was amazing, man. I could have cried at that moment, man. I'm a huge fan of SNL, and also it's like I'm sitting there, and my dad's sitting right up in the rafters, like right there, and so I'm just staring at him. My dad's an amazing drummer, so it's like his dream was always to play SNL. So we got to take a tour of the stage and like take pictures and stuff. And I was looking right at him the whole time. It was so cool, dude.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's something that you take to the grave. You don't ever forget about anything
right,
like
dude.
that.
Totally. Yeah, it was a trip. Such a trip.
What is it? Okay, when I listen to Damage, I hear Duff McKagan's Loaded Band comes to mind. I mean, I even hear Guns N' Roses sometimes. I hear the Damned. I hear Black Flag. But what is it about Southern California punk that is just so it's got its own distinct sound, and you know it when you hear it? I mean, what is it about Cali or just in Los Angeles in general that allows you to kind of all be on the same page as musicians? I mean, talk to me about that.
Dude, I love that you say that, because I was just having this conversation about how like each area has their own sound, even like DC, like Bad Brains and stuff, like every area kind of has their own sound. And California really does, man. It just has like this, even if the bands don't sound like, you can tell when a band is Southern California, you can tell when a band is Chicago, when a band is New York, and it kind of all like the areas just have their sound. But I would say all of California, man, because even go up to the Bay Area, you got Rancid and bands like that. And California it breeds killer bands, and they have that something about them. Maybe it's just the water or something, it's like something about them has like this sound, and you're in the sunshine by the water. It's like, it's not as like depressing and dark, and there really is just like uh there's something in the air over there. We were talking about it, and I don't want to jump too far ahead, but with Alkaline Trio, who I'll announce that, I guess, here is the first time I'm talking about it, but I'm the new drummer for Alkaline Trio. They are such a Chicago band, and they sound like a Chicago band. It's crazy to me, and even though like Alkaline Trio and Fall Out Boy, who I also played for, both of them, they don't sound alike, but you can tell they're both Chicago bands. And it's kind of the same thing with Southern California, it's like you have Circle Jerks and Pennywise and all these bands that you can tell they're Southern California bands. It's crazy, dude. Yeah, I love California music, man. I think it's great. I'm a fan of like, I love, I'll get sucked into an era, like not even an era, but like an area, I guess, like where music comes from, because like I'll get sucked into like British music at one point and like find all the bands from there, and then German music and find all the bands from there, and like, and I just love, you hear the similarities, even if they aren't even the same genre of band, but you hear the similarities based off where they're from, which is super interesting to me. So I love that you brought that up, because California, dude, they just got some great bands, dude. And
Yeah.
I'm lucky that Damage is a California-based band.
Now, I've only been to one show in California in my lifetime, which was an award ceremony in 2014. It was Guns N' Roses was being honored for the Ronnie James Dio Lifetime Achievement Award, and I think I don't remember the name of it was a magazine that was doing it for them. Anyway, but it was an award ceremony. It was televised and all that kind of stuff. But what is a California? What's an LA show like?
Man, it's crazy because you see them. Obviously I've seen them my whole life, and like Damage can go play in a bar, and it's just like, I know everyone always says like, oh, California's too cool. California and New York, it's like they get too cool for school, like they don't. But that's not been my experience, man. Like you're there and people are just having fun, dude. They're just set because you just got to find the people who want to like let loose, I mean, yeah, if you go to a pop concert, sometimes they're going to be acting like they're at a pop concert, but I think it's the music. If you bring it out of them, California will get going, and I love it because it's like everyone can maybe think they're somebody, but once they get in the room, like everyone realizes they're not, and they're just like, fuck it, we're all here to have a good time, I love it. I think some of my favorite California shows are playing in little bars and stuff, and playing, have 20 people in there just fucking stoked, and everyone's, drinking, having fun, and dancing to music. Because I'm like, dude, I don't want to get fucking pushed around. I want to fucking dance. I don't care if I'm dancing to metal or dancing to fucking reggaeton. I don't give a fuck what it is. I'm so stoked. I'm gonna be fucking pumped, moving my body,
Well, so people at a Damage show, they're gonna pit, they're gonna mosh, they're gonna dance and have a good time and everything. However, like at a Gaga show though, monsters are also pretty ravenous, like from what I hear and everything.
Crazy, yeah. It's a trip, dude. My favorite thing is the outfits.
Okay,
Dude,
yeah.
I'm like, fuck. How much time and money did you put into that? I'm up there, dude. I'm dressed like this when I get on stage, like somewhere in shorts and nothing else. Like, I shorts and Converse, and that's pretty much my uniform every day. And I I think it's crazy, man. The amount of work people put into their outfits and stuff. I think it's badass. And there's been times where I'm like, I got to turn her microphone down, or pretty much any microphone down, just because it's picking up the audience so much because they're so loud. And I'm like, I have in-ear monitors, obviously, and I'm like, I need to turn the mics down because it's picking them up because it's so fucking loud.
No way.
Because, dude, they're insane.
How do you do that? Do you signal to one of your techs or something like that?
Yeah, well, we have a monitor guy. We all have microphones so we can talk to each other that don't go to the crowd, and I'll just be like, I need the mics turned down. It's so loud, especially in like a place like Japan, because it was a stadium which held like 60, 70,000 people, but it was still indoors. Because when it's outdoors, the sound kind of travels a little bit and it doesn't go as much. But when you're indoors, it's like, dude, it's just coming straight at you, bro. It's the craziest thing. It's so loud. Sometimes if I'm not playing on a part, I'll take my in-ears out and just listen and be like, it's fucking wild.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And you do that just to kind of take in the vibe?
Totally, because my tech has really been the one, Fionn, he's my best friend and my drum tech, and he's really been the one to be like, dude, sit back. We're doing some crazy shit right now. Like, just take your ears out and enjoy it. So I started doing that every night, at least at one point. If there's a moment where I'm not playing a whole lot or not playing at all, I'll just take my ears out and listen for a sec, which is fucking fun.
Hearing that is such a surprise, because I think most people that aren't like in that world, their imagination of it is that, at least mine, is that everything's, let's say, taken care of. Everything is automatic. It's streamlined and stuff. There's no issues. So I think people forget sometimes you, Lady Gaga, your tech are still human, So I'm hearing you describe the situation where you need to, for example, turn down the monitor because you can't hear over the crowd and stuff like that. So it's like, it's a revelation when you hear about these things that you could potentially screw up because you couldn't hear because the crowd's so loud.
Yeah, It's crazy. I mean, we really are up there. I mean, mistakes happen. You slip. I mean, dancers can slip and fall and hurt themselves. It's like, it's real shit. I'm probably the safest because I don't leave my station. I'm on a drum set. I can't really do much, and I'm enclosed in this big box. And but you know, anything could happen. You know, you can bump into each other. You know, there's a staircase to get on stage. You could trip and fall. You know, so it really is like, uh, you gotta be careful. You gotta be observant, and with the ears, you got to make sure everything's right. I mean, there's so many people like there could be like a problem with like I don't even know what it's called, like the signal or something, and if your ears cut out, it's like how do you know where you are? There's no other sound other than what's echoing off the back of the building. So it's like luckily we have a great team and nothing's gone wrong like that, but if it did, I wouldn't even know what to do, you know?
That was my next question. I'm like, all right, they probably have protocols in place where if something goes wrong, if something fails, well, there's like a backup plan and stuff. But I mean, maybe that's not always the case all the time.
Well, you know, maybe they have a plan, but I don't know that I do. I mean, they got, you know, like there's obviously backup like packs and stuff and backup ears, and if anything goes wrong, they'll come swap them out. But I mean, how fast can a human do that? You know, you could have to take them out of your ears and put them back in, or plug something else in. You know, it's like it's a whole thing.
So to go back to what I just brought up a moment ago about having this kind of picture that everything is going to be taken care of, there's not going to be any issues and stuff like that. Like if something were to happen, right, just like gear wise and stuff, I mean, how would you react? You know, if all of a sudden you can't hear, let's just say you lose the in-ear monitors completely, or like a signal. I know in the movie Spinal Tap, there's that one scene where there's like someone's wireless device catches like some like local signal or something, screws everything up. I mean, like, what would you do if like just gear-wise something goes wrong?
Dude, I mean, so, say we can't hear, I wouldn't know what to do, man. I would be like tripping. You know, I would be really confused. I mean, I've had some pretty bad stuff go wrong. I've like broken the snare head and had to like fumble my way through the song while my drum tech is trying to switch it and I'm trying not to hit him in the head and stuff like.
No way.
Yeah, so stuff like that where we're like, I broke a hi-hat once and we're about to come in. I'm like, this song now doesn't have hi-hat. And I'm like, yeah, but luckily it's like by the time I look at my drum tech, he's so observant that like he's already coming up to fix it by the time I look to tell him something's wrong, you know, like he sees it happen. So we're really fortunate to have a great crew like that. But as far as like in-ear monitors, man, if something goes wrong, I mean, dude, I just pray it doesn't, you know? I just pray it doesn't because I would not know what to do. I mean, I could fake it for as long as possible. I guess my first instinct would be to tell my guitarist to tap his foot and just be like, just stomp your foot and I'll follow along, you know?
Wow.
Because he stands right next to me, you know? And so,
despite the fact that it's a very well-oiled machine, I kind of get the feeling, please tell me if I'm totally crazy for saying this, but I kind of get the feeling that despite all that, there is a little bit of DIY-ness to all of it, right?
Dude, forever. I mean, I think like nothing is ever going to be like, I guess bulletproof, or, you know, it's never going to be 100% like full, like stuff can always go wrong. You know, if there's really no way to make it not DIY, you know, in some ways. I mean, because everyone's kind of figuring it out. If you have ideas, everyone wants to level up the show. I mean, you know, from the stage hands to everyone wants to make it amazing. You know, I mean, if you don't, you're not going to be there because it's a, you know, it's an amazing thing. But so I think that's the whole thing is it's like you're always trying to figure it out. But if you're trying to make it better, it's like at a certain point, you can't fucking stop something from going wrong. You know, you can't stop the world from moving, you know?
Yeah. It's a great analogy.
Stuff can happen, dude. It's crazy. I mean, I've heard some stories of, you know, monitors cutting out and stuff and people just like not knowing what to do, you know? Because it's like, what do you do in that instance? I mean, you're relying on these two little earbuds and like that's your entire lifeline. So it is crazy, but there's really no way to have a backup plan, you know, and something like that. So it's just, let's pray nothing goes wrong. I mean, all you can really do is just triple and quadruple check everything before, which when you have a great crew, they're constantly checking stuff to make sure it's good. But yeah.
I remember there was a Guns N' Roses gig, and I think it was in Dublin, if I'm not mistaken, and something did go wrong, which was the local ordinance was like, I don't know, said you had to stop playing at 11 or something. So their way of dealing with it was, no, we're going to keep playing, to the point where they cut the PA and everything, and everybody just sat down on the stage and stuff and said, we are not leaving.
That's so fucking rad. I love that. I mean, it is wild because you start to realize like, Oh, there's still rules for someone at this level, man. It's like there's still like, I mean, if you play past 11 p.m., you're gonna get fined, and it's like you don't want to get fined. No one wants to get fined, and I've seen that firsthand many times on many tours my life. Where it's like, well, fuck it. But I mean, you could be playing arena like most arenas. You can't play past 11 p.m. And if you do, you're gonna be paying way too much money for it, and you're gonna be fucking sad the next day.
See, that is the other kind of misconception, and I think the let's just say normal people have, normal person has, which is you just described the great scenario. You go past 11 o'clock, you're now on the hook for fines. But even if it's Lady Gaga, even if it's, take your pick. Yeah, they don't want to pay those fines.
No,
though.
you shouldn't, because that's not budgeted for. We have a fucking budget. Every band has a budget that they're like trying to keep it in. And I mean, Machine Gun Kelly, I've seen it happen where it's like, he's getting fined for Red Rocks playing too late, and it's like, but there's nothing you can do because there's just laws in place, especially at like amphitheaters or arenas, because you're dealing with the whole city and like everyone is, on board of that. So you can't break rules. I think Chicago has like the earliest curfew out of anywhere. I've done shows where I'm like headlining and the show's done by like 8:30 because it's like, because Chicago, you have to be done early, which it's just crazy to me. But it's like, there's like headlining bands going on stage at 7 p.m. because it's just, they got such a crazy curfew, especially during the week. It's wild.
I feel so fortunate that you're bringing this up because it's so revealing. Again, like I, and I'm sure probably many other people have thought in the past, like, these big mega artists and stuff, they don't care. They'll play past the clock, hey, it's their world and everything like that. But no, I mean, again, it's just like you said, it's not in the budget. So why the hell would anybody want to spend for that?
Yeah, totally, man. It's a whole thing that people don't think about because like, no matter what size you are, like money's still like, something you got to worry about sometimes, you got to make sure you're in it. I mean, especially with coming like Damage and stuff, like we have to be like smart with our shit. Otherwise we will run out of money and not be able to keep playing. It's like, you got to be smart with all your decisions, and yeah, going over on a curfew is not one that's worth it. I'd rather cut it off,
Sure. So your relationship with the other guys in the band, from what I understand, is very tight. You guys are like brothers and everything. Mm-hmm. What's your relationship with Gaga like?
I mean, it's like, she's like the nicest fucking person I've ever worked for. She's so sweet, so amazing. Obviously it's like, she's busy, she got to work and do stuff. I'm mostly just with the band, like, cause we kind of show up and do our thing and stuff. And it's like, we're pretty separate because we have a little bit less work to do than someone like her, the dancers and stuff. But I can tell you, man, every interaction I've ever had with her is like the coolest in the world, man. She's so sweet. Her and her fiance are amazing. Like, her management's awesome. Everyone's fucking cool. So I think that's the relationship. It's different than being in like a band like Damage where it's the three of us making all the decisions and trying to figure shit out and fighting over stuff and fighting over, well, no, we need to do this. No, we need to do this. That's very different. It's like, then you're like brother and stuff. But with her, it's like, man, she's the coolest boss in the world. She's fucking awesome,
That's so cool. That's so cool. So I was with, okay, well, I guess we can get into this. You brought it up beforehand. You are now about to kind of integrate into another pretty damn big, group out there. They've been together for years. You were a fan of them for a long time. Alkaline Trio.
Yep. Yeah, man. I've been an Alkaline Trio fan forever, dude. And I mean, they inspired so many amazing bands. They've inspired me a bunch. They inspired, even Damage, and so I've been a fan of theirs for a long time. And I got to see them play. They were opening for Fall Out Boy in that time period when I was on that tour playing for Royal and the Serpent. And then I later played for Fall Out Boy on the same tour. And so we were kind of around that whole time. And they were fucking so cool. And they've had amazing drummers. They're, the long-term drummer, Derek Grant's incredible. Their most recent drummer, Adam Willard, is incredible. It's really fucking cool. My good friend Danny Lohner, who plays with Till from Rammstein, he called me and he's like, yo, man, you should make a video playing along to Alkaline Trio song. And I immediately was like, why? Like, why does he want me to do that? And I know him and Matt Skiba, the singer, are neighbors. I know they're neighbors. And so I was like, I wonder why. I was like, I wonder what's going on. Because I was like, in my mind, Adam Willard's still the drummer. So I didn't realize they had parted ways, but this was before it was announced. And so I was like, I'm on tour, but I do have an old one I made like a year ago. Let me just send it to him. He sent it to me and he's all like, awesome, Alkaline's looking for a drummer. Like, you should do it. I was like, how do I do it? And links me up with Matt Skiba, and I get home from tour. My mom and I went to lunch with him because
Wow.
I don't drive, so like I just got my learner's permit, so I'm getting there.
Oh, congrats. Congrats.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
I'm fucking terrified of driving, but I'll get there.
You'll get there.
So we went to lunch, and I was like, "Oh, this dude's amazing." He's like, "If you want to do it, man, it's yours." And I was like, "Perfect." I talked with their management. Just the other day, I went out with Dan, the bass player, and which was awesome. He was in New York with his family just on a trip, and we went out to dinner, and I was like super pumped on that. And then Matt decided to announce it, and it wasn't even planned yet.
Wow.
I thought we were gonna wait later, but I'm stoked because I'm like, cool, let's fucking do it.
Congrats. I love that story. I love it because I was with Mike DeLeon from Soulfly the other night, and he was telling me, one of my questions was, well, their current guitar bassist rather is fairly new with the band. So one of my questions was, Chase, what was it like when you first started playing? Were you nervous? That type of thing. And then I realized, I was like, oh wait, I could ask Mike about that too, because he's been with them a little bit longer. But he described it as being such an experience because when he was young, he would go to these big tours and see Soulfly on the road with Pantera and Morbid Angel and stuff like that, And so hearing you talk about that now, I'm getting the same feeling. Like you said, you loved them for years.
Totally, dude. Like it's very much that thing where it's like I'm playing songs that I've played in my drum room at home just for fun. Songs I like to play along to, which is such a cool feeling. And I'm really excited for the tour to start because it's like, I mean, even just like now playing along to them because I've been learning the songs, obviously, and I want to know. My goal is to know every single song, So learning the songs, I'm like getting chills, being like, "Oh my god, I get to play this in front of people! Like this is fucking crazy, dude!" It's one of my favorite bands, and some of my favorite songs are by them, And I'm really looking forward to it.
Is it something about when musicians are auditioned for different bands where there's some kind of level of like either secrecy or trickery or something like that? Because the story about when Rex Brown was recruited for Down. Apparently, Phil Anselmo was like, hey, come and just jam with us. Come jam with us or something, Just, having fun, jamming. But they were actually secretly auditioning him. So I'm like, is it something where, like, that you don't want to, like, the band doesn't want to actually tell, like, the candidate? Or I'm just getting the feeling that there's some kind of, like...
Well, I think maybe sometimes, like, Alkaline Trio, though, I got the gig without having ever played with them. They told me that it was all good before we even ever jammed. And then, so I think a lot of it is they know, at least at where I'm at, a lot of people know how I play. They know if they're going to like me or not. Like, there's plenty of fucking videos of me playing online. There's plenty of videos of me, like, you can find me, they can see me play anywhere. And so I think they were more just like, let's make sure he's cool. Let's make sure he's a good dude, because that's like the most important thing, man. Like, the playing is great. But they're like, we know you can play drums. Let's make sure you're not gonna be a fucking dick when we're on the road together, because that's the whole personality is just as important, if not more important, because you got to basically live with these people, dude. Like we were, coming in today from New York, and we're just like cracking jokes, like talking, and I'm like, man, imagine if I hated you guys. Like this would suck, It's like you gotta that's what'll keep you sane, is being on the road with people that you actually like and are cool.
So that's probably pretty solid advice then for aspiring musicians out there. It's like, of course, be on top of your game musically, but also you got to be, I don't know, nice, not a dick, a nice person. And everything.
The personality is more than like fucking 50% of what it takes. Because you got to be around people. Don't be a dick. Don't be annoying. Don't be fucking. Just be cool. It's like just have fun. You're playing music. It's supposed to be fun.
So, okay, so you got, and you're doing exactly that because you got Gaga, you got Damage, you now have Alkaline Trio coming up.
Yeah.
Do you have like a schedule? Like, do you know, are you going out, say, out on the road with Alkaline Trio soon? You going into the studio or something like that?
Yeah, so we started touring in June. So this Gaga tour ends on April 14th, and that's when I get home after we end at Madison Square Garden again, where we just were, which is going to be crazy. It's going to be our 9th show there, which is ridiculous. But, so I finish up with her, and then I got some drum clinics and stuff that I'm going to do up in Canada, which I'm really excited for. And then then head out with Alkaline Trio, which I'm looking forward to, man. We got some cool festivals and tours coming up, and we got a run with Rise Against in the fall, which I'm really looking forward to. Yeah, I'm super stoked because that's another great band, and yeah, got some really fun shit coming up, you know?
Do you ever get tired? Like, I mean, you're what,
24.
24, yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
I'm about to be 25 soon. Yeah, man, I get tired. I'm like, even coming in today, I was like, oh, dude, I need some more sleep, you know?
Oh,
And it's
no.
like, but it's just like, then you get excited because you remember, like, this is what I always dreamed of doing, and I'm here now doing it. Like, how can I fucking ever be mad about this? It's awesome, you know?
Oh, God, that is so cool. I always think about that, about, like, the musicians that are out on the road, all year. We were talking about Crowbar before.
Yeah.
That guy hasn't I first met him couple years ago, 22, right? 2022. And he was coming off of a big, long tour, okay? And, well, hell, you know what? He hasn't gotten off the road in, like, years,
Yeah.
okay?
Still
Years.
going for it, man. Those guys go gnarly.
Oh, my God, yeah,
I love Crowbar, dude. What a fucking sick band.
terrific people, hearts of gold. Shout out Kirk and Robin, the whole band, Pat Bruder's,
amazing.
everything.
I've never met them or anything, but I'm a huge fan of the music, and they seem awesome.
Oh no, they really truly are, really truly are.
Sick.
But I think about that though. So he's 61, or he'll turn 61 next week. You're 24, and it must be something with the musician's heart. I mean,
Yeah.
what is it? Would you attribute it to something on maybe the spiritual level, or maybe just a physical level? I mean, where does this just undying love for the road, for creation, etc., come from?
Well, my whole thing is, like, what I've loved more than touring my entire life is just playing drums. That's all I love, is playing drums. Like, I don't care if I'm in my bedroom, if I'm in my drum room at home, or in front of, a million people. It doesn't matter. It's all playing drums to me, and I'm just lucky to do it, and I fucking love it. It's so much fun, and I'll fucking do it until the day I die. Like, nothing can ever stop me from just wanting to play drums nonstop.
And I am learning. It's so funny you bring that up, because I just had a band in here a couple weeks ago, a very influential DC band in the metalcore scene, and they described to me how, just like you said it, I mean, they had been on big tours before and everything, but at the end of the day, it's a need to play. And they said, we don't care, whether it's big, small. Yeah. And I'm starting to realize that the musician is someone that must do it. They must play. I mean, I'm surprised you weren't doing it while you're sitting here, but I'm sitting
here tapping right now. Like, yeah.
That was it right there. I didn't notice it, but yeah. I was looking for it though.
Yeah, but you said it best, man. Like, musician's someone who has to play. It's not like, okay, like, I have to. It's like, no, you have no choice, but you have to, because it's what you love to do. And, like, it's just like someone who breathes air because you have to breathe air. Like, it's like, wow. I have to play drums. That's how I feel about drums, man. Like, it's the fucking greatest thing in the world. Whoever the fuck invented drums, I owe them my life, because it's the most fun thing in the world. Like, dude, like, I'll sit there and just work on weird drumming exercises to fuck with my brain that have nothing to do with music, that I'm never going to use anywhere, just because it's fun. I want to know how to play it and learn the stuff, and I love fucking playing drums so much, man. It's like, I'll do it nonstop. I have a practice pad in my hotel room that I'm sitting there, and I'll just work on stuff, and I have a practice drum set backstage on tour that I use, and all this stuff. It's like, it's drumming. I'll play drums all day if I can.
So if the rug was pulled out from underneath you, say you could never go out on the road again, no more big tours for whatever reason, I don't know, electrical grid crashes or something like that. You're saying that as long as you got maybe not even a drum set, just a drum pad, maybe even some pencils, you're going to be okay as long as you can make those beats?
I would be so sad if it was just pencils or a drum pad, but as long as I can play drums, I'm fucking happy, dude. Like, yeah, man, I'm lucky that it's what I do for a living. I'm very fucking blessed to do that, and I will continue to do that as long as I can. But if for some reason it was made to where you can't make money playing drums, that would not stop me from playing all day, every day. I will do it as every second I get to play drums, I'll be doing it.
You really are the true musician.
Thank you, man. Yeah, I love it, dude. It's the best thing in the world.
Wow. Well, Tosh, this has been so much more than I had anticipated, so much more. But I want to ask you, I want to give you the opportunity. Was there have I failed to address anything in particular that you might have wanted to cover or just get out there or anything like that?
Man, I think we talked it all, dude, and I'm really stoked to have come and met you, and yeah, man, I mean that's everything, man. I'm lucky. I got an amazing family. I got an amazing support system. I got amazing people around me, and I'm very lucky that I get to do what I do and live the life I live and meet fucking cool people like you, dude.
Oh, thank you. I can't
dude.
accept that. That's so big. Thank you so much, and I mean that from my heart. Anytime there's like a big compliment paid or something, I always say, "Look, I swear on these rosary beads that I mean that. I'm so thankful for it." A friend of mine would kill me if I don't shout him out because he's a very big Gaga fan. He loves Damage. My friend Leas, seen Guns N' Roses over 100 times. Actually,
no way.
Yeah.
Great band.
Of course. His 100th show, he wore this like big tuxedo thing, and I know he's been to Gaga shows dressed up real elaborately and everything.
I love that.
So, oh yeah, great kid.
Fucking awesome.
Oh God. So Tosh, again, thank you so very much. I mean that as fully as someone can mean something serious.
Yeah, dude.
And I'm not going to be able to make the show tomorrow. It's sold out like that and everything. Yeah. But I hope you and the band and the rest of the crew have a great time, and I hope you have a fun and safe time out there on the road this summer and fall with Alkaline Trio. Congrats on that, by the way.
Thank you, man. I'm super pumped on it, dude. Really looking forward to it. I just, I appreciate you saying all that, man. Seriously, good times.
Oh, and I appreciate you being here and stuff. And all right, well, Maniacs, stay wild. And thanks so much, Tosh Peterson. Yeah. And I don't think I need to ask you, like, where can they find you and stuff? Because you're out there.
Tosh_the drummer on all social media. Fucking, you can find me anywhere you want. And God, fucking half the fucking people that follow me have my phone number because I give it out like fucking crazy. So seriously, find me anywhere and hit me up anytime, dude.
Oh man! All right, headbangers, stay wild. We'll see you somewhere. Ah, Tosh. Wow.